The past 3-4 years for Africa, I mean for African consumers, have been really, really tough.
Yeah.
In the 9 countries where we're operating, huge currency volatility, huge pressure on consumers, high inflation. We had countries with like 50% inflation. And all that didn't help for us as online retailers. It means that suppliers were not importing goods from Asia or anywhere because they could not commit the cash, because they had no idea of currency volatility in the next 6 months. It means that Asian manufacturers were not sending goods to Africa because, well, they were scared of the situation. And we just could not really do our job at scale. When we lack supply and customers lack confidence, it made things really complicated. And that happened in the midst of our restructuring as well. So we had all at the same time, to put it this way. What we're seeing now is that with currency stability, it's massively improving our situation because we have goods to sell. Supply is becoming much easier. Chinese manufacturers are shipping a lot more to Africa. Consumers are starting to regain some level of confidence. Some. It's not perfect, but it's better. And cherry on the cake, the whole trade war between China and the US is also helping us to secure more supply for Africa, as Chinese manufacturers will have to rebalance their markets.
Have you seen that in the numbers? Have you seen a shift already being beneficial, the trade war benefiting the company?
Indirectly, yes. So we see that our pipeline of goods from China is getting healthier and healthier. We see that we have a lot more interest from Chinese suppliers and vendors. We run onboarding events for Chinese vendors in China. We have a team in Shenzhen. We now have more participants than we have chairs available. So we're really seeing a shift, and it's really making our lives much easier.
Can you talk, though, about the e-commerce play? Because you were in the food delivery business. You say potentially that was not the right decision. Is that sort of what you're alluding to?
What I mean is that we have to focus. Right? We're operating across 9 markets in Africa. Executing is difficult already in itself. If you're not focused, it's really hard to deliver something nice to customers. And we chose to focus on what we believe is the big prize, which is e-commerce. For physical goods, for the real middle class of Africa. So people making between $100 and maybe $400-500 a month.
Okay.
And that's the bulk of the market. Food delivery is quite a different business. You need different assets for sure. The synergies were not obvious. And I believe we're much stronger in the physical goods e-commerce.
If you take a look at e-commerce, though, people could say in a market like South Africa, there's Takealot, there's Shein, there's Temu. I mean, it's very competitive.
Yes.
How do you compete with companies that have really gotten quite a foothold on you over the past few years?
So South Africa is specific, right? It's very competitive with local players, Takealot and somehow Amazon, plus non-resident platforms. We're not in South Africa. We left South Africa last year. We had a very small business here, and we chose not to fight this battle. So we're actually now in 9 markets. We're dominant in almost all of those markets. We're #1 player in 8 of the 9 markets. And we had very strong head start against any kind of competitor in those markets. We've built a business model that's relevant for this kind of market. We operate in markets where GDP per capita is between $1,000 and $4,000 per year, not per month. So it's very specific to some level of purchasing power. And we've built the right model for these customers in these markets, which is very different from South Africa. So we'll not fight the battle in South Africa. Definitely, it's a different business.
Do you expect, though, to face increased competition in some of these other markets? Let's take Nigeria, for example, where they've changed some regulatory hurdles, in particular the de minimis with duty-free imports. Do you expect to see more Chinese goods and players coming in and competing with you?
More, I'm not sure, but we expect to see competition from non-resident platforms, Temu, Shein, and the likes. So that we totally expect. For example, Temu came to Nigeria end of 24, and they made a big push there. But what we see now in the numbers is that we're able to fight them, and that money can't buy you everything in those markets, and that adapting to a market like Nigeria is tough, even for a platform like Temu.